Alright, so Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler. Apparently this movie is doing so bad at the box office that now it's affecting other movies that are supposed to be starring black actors. I got this report from the New York Post. I'm not lining up to watch Disney movies, right? So this is new to me. But apparently the next Rapunzel movie, a live action sequel to the movie Tangled, was supposed to be starring a black actor. I'll find out who that is in a second. Some folks in the higher ups of the Disney Corporation, they're watching the performance of Snow White and they're saying to themselves, we can't risk another one of these. And certain shows are being cancelled allegedly. And this is what it said in the article from the New York Post. Disney is hitting the pause button on its planned live-action remake of the 2010 animated hit Tangled, right? Following the disastrous box office performance of Snow White, according to multiple reports published Thursday. The Hollywood Reporter was the first to break the news. Entertainment Weekly and Deadline later confirmed the story, right? The story has been confirmed by multiple reliable sources, right? So, in the backlash from the Snow White movie and all the controversial comments made by Rachel Zegler is having ramifications beyond just that film. That film is performing so badly that executives at Disney are deciding, listen, it might not be worth it to pursue projects whose creative structure is in a similar vein, if you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Alright, well the question is, how bad really is this film doing at the box office that apparently other films down the line are having to be cancelled because they might have similar sort of tropes in them that the Disney company might not want to be distancing themselves from, right? So I'm reading this article from Collider, right? That's a very popular news movie source, and so this is what they're saying about Snow White's performances at the box office. Disney's Snow White has passed another box office milestone as it prepares for its third full weekend in theaters. At the time of writing, Snow White has collected $70 million at domestic box offices, thanks to a strong performance on Wednesday, April 2nd. That saw it earn $850,000. Snow White has also added $75 million at the international box office to help its global haul reach $146 million. It will certainly pass $150 million globally by the end of the weekend, despite increasing competition from A Working Man and The Chosen, while also fending off a Minecraft movie. Minecraft is big, so Snow White stars Rachel Zegler, who we all know about, in the lead role with Gal Gadot, who we also know about, that's Wonder Woman, playing the evil queen, and the film was directed by Mark Webb. I have no idea who that is. Snow White is not only the number one movie at the worldwide box office this weekend, right? But it is also the number 5 biggest movie of the year at the global box office. So that's contrary to a lot of the gloom and doom and it's a total disaster comments that are being made, right? We're going to look more into that, right? But this is on Collider, right? Collider is big in terms of movie news, right? So this is supposed to be relatively reliable. So at the domestic box office, Snow White sits at number 3, trailing only Captain America, Brave New World, and Dogman. There's a movie called Dogman. What is that about? Anyway, but globally, it still falls behind other films such as Nezha 2, Niza 2, Tang Tan 1900, and Creation of the Gods 2, Demonic. Damn, I have not been keeping up with my movies and stuff. I have no idea what those things are. The film might not necessarily be doing as bad as some people would have you believe. There are people reposting a lot of videos of people showing that they're going to watch Snow White and the theaters are empty. That the turnout performance is way below what was expected to the point for a Disney classic. This is a classic story. Unless you live in the most third world countries, you probably have heard of Snow White. You probably have seen the movie, or if you didn't watch it, you know what it is, right? You've seen a book with it on the cover, or you've heard about it, or you put it referenced in some way. So it's supposed to be a very popular franchise, but I think they spent $300 million on this film or something to that effect, right? So far they've only made 150 million. I mean, is that bad? Is that good? Were they supposed to make a profit? I'm not. I mean, I like movies. But I'm not really into it that much in all the details. But we will find out. That's what Google is for, right? Now, how much money has Snow White made so far at the box office in the United States and globally? Well, this is from Yahoo Finance, right? This is from basically a couple of days ago, so this is pretty current to when I'm going to be, releasing this video, right? So the worldwide box office for Snow White stands at 225 million, with an estimated 100 million coming from the domestic collections and 125 million from international overseas markets. To put this into perspective, Snow White earned less than Disney's 2019 live-action Dumbo, which grossed 115 million domestically, essentially making it a flop. Disney is expected to generate $295 million in total revenues through global film rentals, home entertainment, streaming. Why do they have this thing on the screen? And streaming and merchandise sales. However, this amount places it in comparison to the film's overall cost. The production and marketing expenses for Snow White reportedly reached 410 million. So that's a lot less than, they're saying around basically from the numbers I'm seeing online, they're saying that this film cost between 400 and 500 million dollars to make, right? And they are saying right here on Yahoo Finance, right? This is not me, this is what they're saying, that this film is estimated to only make $295 million. So that's like they're $1 million short at least. Then you have to put that into context, right? Because this is supposed to be one of their most popular IPs, intellectual properties for Disney, right? I mean, this is up there with Mickey Mouse, right? This is up there with the Little Mermaid and the Lion King, right? This is Snow White, right? So that's where their story lies. So to bring this into even more perspective for you, right? This is how other Disney live-action remakes have fared domestically on other opening weekends, and this is from Newsweek, right? So The Lion King on its opening weekend domestically in the United States made 119 million. Beauty and the Beast 174 million. Alice in Wonderland 116 million. The Jungle Book 103 million. The Little Mermaid 95 million. Aladdin 91 million. Maleficent 69 million. Cinderella 67 million. Dumbo 46 million, and Mufasa, the Lion King 35 million. Snow White only beat Mufasa. Take from that what you will. Apparently that's really, really bad, right? So